Well, Bus Fest has just come to a violent end, particularly violently for my radiator, my brand new $7,000 radiator, which you can see has got a hole punched in it. The fan drive looks like it's sheared off. The fan has disintegrated and blown a hole in the radiator. Check that out. So, core from, oh, look, there's little hits here and there. This is the main damage in here.
Well, the good part about it is it's only going to need a core in it.
Righto. Can't be repaired?
No, fan come off, eh?
So that's something you guys do here?
Yeah, so it won't be as long as last time because I only got to get a core made.
Okay. Well, hello. It's exactly a week since the big disaster. I've started to recover financially and, well, I've pretty much recovered emotionally. There was a lot going through my mind. I started to blame myself, maybe because I didn't replace the old nuts and bolts, just used the ones that came off it. I could have put new strengthened ones on it. There's all sorts of things I was blaming myself for, but the bottom line is it happened. It turned out okay, and the wheels are turning. Well, figuratively they're turning anyway. To get it repaired, get it back in the bus, we're going to go with a new cooling system, which should be much better anyway. And what else can you do? There's no point crying over spilt coolant. As I mentioned at the end of the last video, I am going to take a break and step away from the buses for a while. There's nothing that really needs doing urgently. There's nothing I can do on the Merlin until the rad's fixed. And we are approaching Christmas, so I've got a couple of weeks of work I have to get through up to Gravy Day. What we call Gravy Day in Australia, December 21, and then I've got a few weeks up with the family. There's a couple of things I want to show you that I want to do when I'm up with the family. There's also a few other things I want to say, and I'm going to do that right now. Welcome to another episode of Steve Stuff. Come down today because I want to clean out that shed. In fact, I'm going to start tidying up, separating tools, things I want to take home with me, things that I can leave here, put things back in the buses that I took out so that we could drive them, you know, boxes of spare parts and all that sort of thing. So whilst I was here, I just thought I'd say thank you to you. Something's happened through the week. That last video has just gone crazy. The last time I checked, it was at 3,500 views. Also this week, we hit 1,000 subscribers. On top of all the shit that happened, it's almost like some good came out of the tragedy. And people like to see things go wrong. That's exactly what happened. So we're at 1,000 subscribers now. I can start to make a little bit of cash, like 10 cents a month or whatever they pay. I apologize if you start to see ads in my videos, but just remember, it's all going towards the new radiator core fund. The channel's only been up since March this year. There's 50 odd videos and there should be more because I didn't video when I was building the Merlin. I did post a video of a photograph collage of the Merlin being built, but I just want to show you how far we came. From this just waiting for it to build up air, but you can see I'm nearly done with this know it's not back in Kirkland's like it should be, but it should be back in Kirkland's if I was from Lismore. I'm not from Lismore. I put it into the Eggins livery because that's what I remember from my childhood, and they had a Merlin. We can't find that Merlin, it's disappeared. This is the next best thing. Thank goodness we managed to save it from that paddock, and she's now being looked after in preservation. And then there's the Atlantean. To this. Restored back to what it looked like back in service. This is that actual bus. Let's have a look at the day it was moved from Scott's Place in Lightning Ridge, ready to come down here and be preserved. So far, haven't they? And very proud to say they're mine, and are now in preservation and will be looked after. That's about it for the bus stuff for 2024. There is a few things I'm going to do while I'm at home with the family. I've got 3 weeks up there, and that's to do with a couple of my cars. Well, one of my cars, the 1956 FJ Holden, I need to do the carburetor. There's a carburetor issue with that car. It runs for a while and then it dies. It's like, and we have noticed a lot of dirt in the fuel filter. So I think the carby's dirty. I'm going to teach myself how to pull it apart and put a kit through it and rebuild it. It can't be that hard, surely. There must be a YouTube tutorial I can watch. So I'm going to do that. Also, I restored a 1959 Carapark Caravan to match the FJ Holden. I wanted to take them to shows and things like that. In fact, I did take them to one show, but then I got offered the job in Sydney. I moved to Sydney in 2018 and that caravan got parked up and it wasn't finished. So I want to get that out, get it on some good new tyres, get the brakes, look at those. I'm not happy with the treatment I did on the rear. I put some stupid big LED tail lights on it. I cut into the rear of it and I put an ugly toolbox on the back. I want to 86 all that and try and get it looking as original as I can. And I also think it doesn't have a ceiling. So that's 2 jobs. And if there's enough time, there's a 3rd job I want to try. That's with my 1950, I think it's a 52, 51 Holden FX sedan. I bought that car when I was in Brisbane, just starting out in radio. People used to say, don't park it in front of my house. It was a bit of a, well, it wasn't a wreck, but they weren't revered or collectible back in those days, the early 90s. It's been sitting in the shed now for 30 years. We got it running a couple of Christmases ago. Last year I put a new water pump and radiator in it. This year, if I get time, I want to get it out of the shed. It's in a position where if we drag it out and we can't get the rear brakes unlocked, which they are at the moment, we'll have trouble getting it back in. So it's a big job, and I also have decided I'm going to restore that to a Sydney taxi. There are a few things I want to get done over Christmas if I can, and I'll bring you guys along for the ride and post the videos. As I said, bus stuff again next year. As soon as the radiator's back, we'll get stuck into that. So it's been a big year. Thanks for telling your friends about the channel if that's what you've done, and liking and subscribing if that's what you've done. I'm going to say goodbye. I won't say yet because it's a bit early. It's only the 1st of December. I only just put my Christmas tree up. You might hear from me again before Christmas. If you don't, thank you once again for 2024, and we'll see you in 2025.